So today let's talk about my client Lauren and how she was able to score over 100K in 22 days with her email marketing campaigns. I'm Tiffany Garside. I'm an international email marketing specialist of 9 years. We are going to get into this case study. I briefly created like a static post about it. So if you have not seen that post, you're going to want to go to Tiffy G Writes, look at my profile, look at the static post, and you'll see the case study written. But I'm also going to talk to you about it on live today so you can get the context and see what you can learn from this case study for you to hit your next 50, your next 100K, 250K, whatever your next goal is in a short time span, okay? Number one, I want you to know that email is the best way to generate that type of revenue. I'm going to preference by telling you what type of business owner Lauren is. She owns a med spa firm, okay? So she has a med spa, but this specific offer was not like getting your nails done, getting a massage. No, she was teaching other med spa owners, other dental owners, other practitioners that are in health. They could be in a variety of sectors, but the commonality, the niche is that they're all in health. She was showing them during this in-person session that lasted about 3 to 4 days. It was $6,000, $6,500 for VIP. They would show up in Chicago and they would work with her one-to-one. Now, context, this is a business owner who has written a book. This is a business owner who has a podcast. This is a business owner who has an email list of 12,000 subscribers. This is a business owner who has all of her authoritative pieces of content that are working together. This is a business owner who knows that she has to show up in multiple places at multiple times per day. She's not the type to just be like, you know, if I'm showing up via email, I don't need to show up via social. If I'm showing up via social, I don't need to show up via email. And then on top of that, she owns a podcast and runs it for those practitioners, okay? And so she is all about being all the way into her business. And this is the mindset. Now, if we look at the Bible, there's this philosophy that Yeshua has, and he talks about how you do not need to be lukewarm, right? How if you're lukewarm, you're going to get spit out of the Most High God's mouth, right? And it's the literal same thing in business. If you're lukewarm in business, meaning you're just willing to halfway show up, you just halfway want to have your social media together, or you have ads running and then you're like, but I'll kind of go lower on the emails, or it could even be your blogging strategy, right? Your search engine optimization, because mind you, Lauren also has a blog that she has been posting on. Podcast and blogging go hand in hand, but we'll talk about that in another video. And so that's the context when we're talking about 100K in 22 days and these huge figures like that. Understand that this entrepreneur has a vault of content built up, and you have to ask, what's the identity and the mindset of a successful CEO that's willing to invest in their organic content and their ads and their email marketing and get a strong return on investment in record time. It requires that much consistency, and I'd hate to break it to you. What went well in 2021 and 2022 for your business, if those things are still outdated, you have not posted on your podcast since then, you have not updated your website since then, you have not posted any blogs, and you're sporadically sending emails, you can't expect huge, enormous results if you're not being consistent in those areas. And so it's about to be March. It's going to be like spring cleaning season, right? So this is a great time to take inventory of your marketing assets and ask yourself as the CEO the difficult question. Like, am I really being true to being all in on my business? Or am I just pawning it off and saying, well, maybe next year I'll be all in. Maybe I'll go all the way in on email marketing next year. Or maybe if you have a blog, maybe I'll actually sit down and see what search engine optimization is and see how to properly form blogs. If it's a podcast, maybe I'll do it again next year. And I understand that you get tired and that you have different seasons in business, okay? But that's why you have a marketing team. Whether it's your team being just you and another copywriter, a marketing strategist, or you and a marketing strategist and a tech virtual assistant. I see that a lot for this specific case study. This client had a team of about 5 people on the marketing department. Okay, so she's the CEO, then myself, the business integrator, the business manager, making sure all the key pieces are running together, the graphics person, and then 2 virtual assistants to make sure nothing slips through the cracks, okay? Context is so important in this time, especially when I'm talking to you guys here who follow me. A lot of you guys are Black entrepreneurs, but we know as Black entrepreneurs, We have historically not been able to get in certain corporate America rooms and have certain access to things that other nationalities and other groups of people will have. Even immigrants may have this problem as well. But we can't use this as an excuse, meaning when we find someone that has that level of expertise that we need to listen to them, we need to learn from them, or we need to do our own research into these different marketing practices, because we'll falsely assume, oh, I can just do the bare minimum with social media. And then you find out later on down the line that you try to generate all this AI copy. You have a lot of subscribers, you have a lot of people that seem like they want to be engaged, but they're not buying. Whenever we have that, it's a tall tale sign that the core of your message works. But when you get to nurturing, meaning, again, a marketing funnel, when you get to the top, that works. You entice them with the webinar, the ebook, the lead magnet, whatever it is. But then when you get to the middle, they're not trusting you all the way, and so they need more educational content. Email is hands down the best way to distribute that content marketing and that copywriting and that educational content that's required to help somebody make a buying decision at over $3,000, okay? You no longer are in the realm of simple, hey, $100 product, $300 product, the end. That's it, super easy, okay? You have to understand, and I took a sales engineering class about last year this time, and it even opened my eyes further of awareness for sales engineering and like top level sales, understanding that even in tech sales, there are like 22 steps that tech sales companies will have their reps and developers go through. 22 steps, 22 touch points, okay? Meaning from the moment somebody finds your brand, you need to have 22 touch points. Now let's break this down into like 4 phases. What are the 4 phases going to be, okay? So it could be social media strategy, your ad strategy, email marketing, and then just manual follow-ups, okay? That could be the 4 phases. But if you have these 22 touch points and you have this map out that's honestly worth $500,000, multi-millions of dollars, depending on where you're at in business, you can fill in the gaps and see, hey, if we didn't hit these 22 touch points, it's obvious that we're not going to be seeing the sales numbers we want to see. Okay, and so you have to reverse engineer your marketing and your business development like that, because I'm telling you, when they showed me those 22 touch points and that sales engineering course that I took, my mind was blown. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Meaning they will literally follow up with somebody and like their post or comment on their post, send them an email. This person would already be on their email list, so they're tracking how many emails they're sending to this specific client or this specific process to know, okay, this is how many touch points it's going to take. And it's 2025, again, I'm going to say it so that it just really resonates that what went right in 2021 and 2022 is not going to work in 2025. We are 3 years later. Okay, so you can't take old strategies into 2025 and then say, why is it not working? It's not working because it's outdated. In marketing, we're always A/B testing. We're always changing. We're always seeing what we can do to elevate and understanding the buyers in the market where they're at right now. And email marketing is no different. So that's why I titled this live, No Excuses, Show Up, because this entrepreneur, Lauren, she has a small team. She doesn't have a team of a whole bunch of people. She runs a physical business, but she also has her virtual business that does a lot of bottom line revenue for her firm so she can have these 2 businesses creating stability for each other, okay? And so she launches this 6.5K offer for VIP, $6,000 for people that are not VIP. They come in person, they fly into Chicago, and she does these training sessions with them for 3 to 4 days, okay? And we get to 100K in sales in just 22 days. Now let's reverse engineer that, meaning she has a subscriber base of 12,000 people, so she only needed about 18 to 21 clients to acquire that revenue goal that she had, because we knew coming in, actually we exceeded the goal. The goal was to hit 90K in that launch period that we had. And she hit over 100K, but the context, she had a small team. There was not just her and another copywriter, her and another marketing strategist. She had tech VAs, because behind a launch, behind you doing a lot of these bigger numbers, it requires having a tech assistant in there. Having somebody that knows how to look behind the scenes and check everything off so that the creative copywriter, the creative marketing strategist can stay in their creative realm of expertise, okay? And it's phenomenal. It's literally phenomenal. I should also let you know, we wrote a sales page. So I sat down and wrote the sales page. Again, this is separate from her website, because a lot of us do not understand the separation between a website and a sales page. A website is your business home virtually, essentially. So your home, your about section, your tips, your contact us page, phenomenal. Then the sales page is very much, as it sounds, sales-based, storytelling-based, copywriting-based, to walk someone through your specific service offering. This sales page that we wrote is 7 to 10 pages. Now you may say, well, why is that required? Because she knew she didn't want to have to continue to have people calling her or getting on the phone with people. That's not the way that she does sales. And you're going to find in a lot of businesses, people do sales differently. I have some clients that have sales teams. I have some clients that don't. I have some clients that just use sales pages. And then I have some clients that use a combination of both. So it just depends on you and what most resonates with you. But for this particular client, she did not get on any sales calls. Nobody on her team got on any sales calls. Again, this is a super busy entrepreneur who owns 2 businesses. One is a med spa practice, okay? And so when we're doing the virtual launch, she wants it to be sort of passive, to where I can hire a copywriter to come in. I can hire them in $1,900, $2,000, and then make back exceedingly beyond what I invested. 20 to 30 times beyond what the investment is. Right? And so going through with the sales page, we had the thought-provoking headline, then we have the intro to the client's problem. That's always the intro of a sales page. After the intro to the client's problem, we have to go through with the pain points, come out with another thought-provoking headline. Then we slowly start to introduce the offer, and I mean super slowly. By the time we get to 7 to 10 pages, we have testimonials, we have case studies, we have the details behind the scenes. We're laying out all the information in the public so that people can make a buying decision. If you're one of those entrepreneurs, you're like, I don't want to tell people what my ingredients are. I don't want to tell people what it is I do. I don't want to tell people how we work with them. I just want to kind of be behind the scenes and be kind of passive. Then you're not going to get to reap the rewards of having a 100K launch in just a month or less. Okay? Because successful entrepreneurs know I have to put all the information out there. I have to show up and I have to embody who it is my audience needs to see to be able to trust me. So once you have all that information on the sales page, by the time they get to the end of it, they're like, okay, I can make a buying decision. Again, this is an audience base of 12,000 subscribers. She only needed 18 people to hit her sales goals. Now she'll continue to have the newsletters. We continue to send newsletters for the rest of that audience, but she only needed 18 to 21 people to hit that goal when it was priced correctly. Okay? And so that's some food for thought. That is your inspiration of the day, your motivation. No excuses, show up. Show up with no excuses. Be relentless for your business. Think back to the times that you were getting student loans out. You were relentless to get those student loans going 100K, 200K, 300K in debt. But when we look at our businesses, sometimes we're like, oh, that's not really worth the investment. Oh, I don't really want to do it. And that's a decision you have to make on your own. But for my clients and for this specific entrepreneur, Lauren, she is a CEO and she is phenomenal in her own right. She was able to hit those sales goals because she was able to see the return on investment and the value of strategic communications and investing in marketing professionals. She would come to the meetings and we would literally just present to her what our goal was and what the strategy was. She wouldn't do a whole lot of talking. She would just listen and she'd be like, okay, run the play. You got this. I trust you all. And it was a play to be had. It was a play to be ran. It was incredible. And so I encourage you today, if you're not sure about marketing, if you don't know which avenues to look into, before you can ever hire anyone in your firm or before you can have a copywriter on your team or know how to trust them, then you're going to have to do a little bit of research yourself. Understand social media strategy, organic strategy, understand that AI cannot do everything, and that each time you put out an AI generated post, imagine it like an energy bank, like your phone. Let's think about your phone. Every time you put an AI post out, your phone is draining battery. That's literally what it's like when people come across your content and they cared about your resources, your free lead magnet, your webinar, your ebook, your whatever it is, or the live videos that you're doing. But each time you send a piece of AI generated content, that trust that they were trying to build, that connection, it just starts to dwindle. And so your phone's on 84%, then it goes down to 63. Then before you know it, it's down at 32, and you're like, what on earth happened? And before you know it, you have an audience base of people who are there, but they're not engaged, which is a tall tale sign. You either need to clean that email list and delete a lot of contacts, especially those older than 9 months. We always do this in e-commerce. Brands that make over 800 million a year, they will always go through and delete the people on their email list because they understand, I don't want people that are not engaged. And also sometimes people just change their email addresses, right? So it could be they're not engaged. It could also be they change their email addresses. And so it's better to have a succinct list of 12,000, 18,000 engaged people, even 30,000 engaged people if you're downsizing from that subscriber base of 60,000. It's better to have this engaged amount of people that care about your brand, that are listening, that see the content you're talking about, than to be wasting money on tech and systems that are no longer amplifying and making you bleed revenue. Let this be the time. In March, we're going into March. I'm calling it March already. I feel like I'm a little bit in the future. But let this be the time in March that you really take inventory of your tech stack to see where we're wasting revenue with the tech stack, okay? Because that's something that a lot of entrepreneurs will just look over. Even in corporate, people look over this. And so that's why they'll have a corporate email marketing strategist come in and advise them like, hey, you're wasting a lot of revenue here. So we do the full report, we do the full documentation, send it to them and tell them, hey, it's up to you if you want to delete these people. But from what I'm seeing, this is going to cost you big time down the line. So I hope you got some value from this. I know you got some value from this case study. It was super lit, super exciting. I love working with business advisory firms like this. And although I'm a finance copywriter, I consistently find myself also helping luxury retreat type businesses, people that have premium offers that are priced over $2,000, where they know it's not about the vanity, it's not about the graphics, it's not about any of that. It's about the message that they're putting out and helping people to trust them in a magnetic way. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video. If you're just coming in, feel free to see this when it's live on my Instagram profile or look at my previous lives. I'll talk to you soon.